Hi, I'm Mark Massey, author of Shank, a Mafia fairy tale. And today, excerpts from chapter 6, when Tony Gossi travels to Rome to be with Vincent Marchetti and his family as they meet an aging John Paul II. The Pope reached for Marchetti and pulled him into a short embrace. The two men exchanged whispers. Pope John Paul II touched Marchetti lightly on his left cheek and appeared to be praying with head lowered. When Marchetti turned toward his family, he looked radiant and at peace. I remained in place as the others approached the Pope. When they all had their private dialogue, he glanced over at me, as if confused by my reticence, my intransigence. I nodded, kept my hands clasped, and averted my eyes. I saw John, Robert, and Alyssa Marchetti staring incredulously at me, as if to say, "What the hell is wrong with you? Move." Before taking a step, I looked to Vincent for a sign. He came to my side and whispered, "Go to him," and so I did. I don't remember walking those half-dozen steps. I do remember the kindness in the Pope's pale blue eyes as he looked at and through me. I felt like falling to my knees and sobbing for every sin I had ever committed. He spoke softly, "Peace be with you." His hand shook as he made the sign of the cross, just inches from my face. It sounds crazy, but he smelled like a newborn baby. That pure, innocent, unmistakable sweet scent, such a wonderful, intoxicating aroma. As I drew near, I could feel his power. It was as if there were a force field. This was a metaphysical embrace. I had such a feeling of repose. It was like when you were a kid and all you wanted to do was to come home to your safe place, where you felt warm, protected, and surrounded by loved ones. If only at that moment I could have been lifted to heaven's gate. Here was St. Peter's successor, blessing me, Tony Gossi, in the Vatican. For someone raised a good Catholic boy, this was too much to grasp and more than I could handle. I smiled at Pope John Paul II, nodded twice, and then fainted.